Welcome back to AJ's podcast. This is the Driving on 91 podcast, because I'm driving on 91, and it's traffic hour, and it's fun. Not really, but it's kind of okay. At least I'm not driving through Springfield. But I'm also south of Hartford by now. That's why I waited to turn on the AJ's podcast, Driving on 91 podcast. But yeah, I'm driving on 91 making a podcast. But I realize that there's a lot of things, a lot of things that are going on in the world. A lot of crazy things, don't you think? You know, there's all these files about pedophiles, and there's all these crazy talk about aliens and stuff. And I'm just over here like, yeah, I knew about that shit in like 2014, but like, you know, y'all didn't want to listen. So now it's in the news, so I think it's kind of funny. So, I mean, these are very serious things. Very, very serious things. But I kind of find it humorous that what people now think are serious things they thought was hogwash before. It's kind of hilarious to me. But I also would like to say hashtag Love Again Movement and hashtag Love Again Movement 2025, even though it is 2026, because we got to keep that in the loop. In the Stream of Consciousness podcast on 91 South, we're driving southbound, and we're going all the way. We're driving to the next idea of what to talk about, actually. This is like the little interlude. I mean, we just passed the sign that said 34, so we're on the 34th idea, clearly. The 34th idea is that there is some classified about classified. And if you didn't know, X, Y, and Z marks the spot about the classified, because it's all about wording, and it's all about unclassifying the classified through wording. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta hang loose with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be up to par in the parlay. You know? Sometimes you gotta get hip with the new lingo. I don't know what these, like kids are talking about nowadays. What are we on, like Gen A or some shit like that? I don't know. I'm a fucking millennial. That was from the 90s. But, like, what about these, like, new gen languages? Because, like, now I'm starting to feel old. Like, I'm listening to these kids saying, like, skibbity shit and fucking all that. You know what I'm saying? It has to be code for something different. Because we didn't have furries back in the day. At least I can't remember. I mean, high school was a long time ago. But the main thing is that there's a lot of triangles and squares. I mean, triangles that are on top of squares, let me say that correctly. And then you got a whole bunch of flippity screw do foo gibbligin. And then, you know, shout out to that guy that made that song, you know, on TikTok. It's really nice with the TikTok. But also, you have to remember that there's peer pressure. And sometimes when you eat a pudding cup, it's kind of like those socks that make you stick to the floor better. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes with a giggity, there's a little bit of hiccups. Actually, I said that wrong. Hiccups. Sorry, my bad. I was speaking in improper code. But if you catch my drift about zigzags, actually scratch zigzags, I meant swishers, then you understand that there's no cap in Cap'n Crunch. There's only Crunch with a Cap'n. Signing off on Fruit Loops, this is Jay Zizzle in the skizzle. And sometimes it do be like that. Anyways, that was a whole lot of unclassified that was classified if you understood the code. But I don't think anybody will, because in 2032, there's going to be AI robot zombies. So, like, we don't really know what's going on right now. There's a lot of glitchy stuff with what is it called? CERN? Yeah, CERN, that stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of glitches. So thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Intergalactic, what is it called? Intergalactic Cable. Signing off. Back to you, Rick. Rick, are you there? I don't think Rick's there. Can we get a check on him? Alright, I think his mic is off. Alright, hold on. Morty! Oh, man. Oh, my God, it's not good. Let's just keep his mic off then. Alright, that's okay. We'll move on to the next one. Next segment. Okay. Alright. Okay, and we're back with AJ's podcast, driving on 91 South. And we had to cut out because there was a lot of weird shit. My podcast got intercepted and then it cut out. So I don't know what the fuck that was all about. They were trying to impersonate me, I think. It was weird. I could hear it. But, I mean, fuck, man. Like, 5G and AI go hard nowadays. But, anyways, there was something about, oh, I think it cut out again. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Sorry. Big bet. Alright. Well, we'll just cut it. We'll just cut it here. How about that? Alright, that works? Alright, bet. Alright, so AJ's podcast, 91 South, coming to an exit. Alright, exit 21. That's my exit. Alright, signing off. Peace.